There's life jackets back here under these hatch doors. Y'all ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Let's try that again. Y'all ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Alright. So we're entering the Shop the River Center here. It's just like any other mall, except this one has a river in the middle of it. Any Cowboys fans in the boat? Dallas Cowboys fans? A lot, alright. So there's a Dallas Cowboys store in the middle of the store there. Just gonna do a little reverse here, guys. Kind of coming in too hot there. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys store at the very top. I'm sorry, the second floor. We also have a Legoland inside of that mall, as well as a Sea Life Aquarium. They even have an IMAX theater inside. Has a pretty cool picture of the seeds in the Alamo there. That Ghirardelli's behind me also is the only Ghirardelli's in Texas. So if you are looking for some chocolate, you can go ahead and hop on over there. And you may notice all our boats look a little different here, because they are. We have 5 different designs of boats here on the river. They're all based on what we call papel pecado. It is a decoration that we use during Christmas, Day of the Dead, as well as wedding ceremony. I think we already let the gentleman pass through here real quick, guys. Now, each boat has a different design on it. We're sitting on the Tricentennial boat. Back in 2018, San Antonio celebrated its 300th birthday. It's Tricentennial year. We also have a military boat because San Antonio is known as Military City, USA. If they have any active duty or retired military first responders, family members, you don't want to pick it up there, guys. Come on, guys. Louder, guys. I can hear you louder. Alright. Thank y'all for everything that y'all do. We also have a dove boat to commemorate peace and love. We also have a sun boat because San Antonio has over 300 days of sun a year, making it the perfect vacation destination. Now, I know that's what I was thinking. Today is not one of those 300 days. A little cloudy, a little rainy, but that's all right. We're still going to have some fun. We also have the missions boat. Remember the 5 missions. It's on the left side right there, that green boat. You can see little buildings on there. Those are the missions. Now, right next to it is also the missions boat. The same one. And that was the 300. That was a good look at the one we're on right now. Look at that 300 boat. Tricentennial boat there. Now we're going to be making a right turn here. That boat in front of us is the military boat. Once we make this right turn here, I want everybody to take a look on the right side. You're going to notice a sculpture of a gentleman there. Once we make this right turn past the footbridge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That statue is known as Saint Anthony de Padua. He's the saint for lost items. He was gifted to us during the 1968 World's Fair from Portugal.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
If you lost something, go ahead over there, rub his belly. You may find it. Does not work with money though, I've tried. The bird just poop on me right here?
Yeah.
It did? Oh. Are you seriously joking? Oh, okay. I felt the splash. I was like, dang it, man, it just started. Already got Now, if you're wondering if we have wildlife on the river, we do. We try to keep the river as best filtered as we can. So if you look to the left right there, we used to have those waterfalls, water fountains, whatever you want to call them. They keep the river as filtered as best as we can. Now on the right side, as you pass the street, you may notice a steeple coming out of there. That is known as St. Joseph's Catholic Church. Back in 1868, San Antonio had a thriving German community. So what they did, they wanted to hold Catholic Mass, they wanted to hold it in their own native tongue. They went ahead and founded that church back in 1868. They still have Catholic Mass to this day. They even have an all-male choir that performs once a month. So if y'all are yearning for a German service, that's the place to be. Now if you plan on moving to San Antonio, opening up a business, you can go ahead and bless you. Check out this spot right here, Chamber of Commerce, to help you out opening any kind of business. once we pass this Christmas tree looking tree on the left, I want everybody to look at the street level. Up there, you're going to see another hotel that's known as Palacio del Rio. See, San Antonio was awarded the World's Fair in 1968. They needed to build a hotel, and they needed to build it fast because they were expecting millions of people to come through the city. So they hired a gentleman by the name of H.P. Zachary, who did just that. Him and his crew built that hotel in only 202 working days. Him and his crew even had the weekends off. Now, the way they built it so fast was because they actually built each room individually just south of San Antonio. They put the drawers in the room, the bed, the sink, toilets, the bathtubs. They even put the Bibles in the nightstand. And what they were going to do a slight stop here, guys, just to make sure no traffic is coming through. We're also going to be taking a left turn here. Looks like we're okay. We'll talk about that hotel here in a second. Now, the way they built it so fast is they went ahead and actually used a giant crane. A giant crane, and they stacked each room individually, one by one on top of each other, kind of like Lego blocks. And Mr. Zachary and his wife are only scheduled to stack 10 rooms a day. But they got so skilled at using that crane, they were stacking 35 a day. Now, if you look, once you pass it up on the left side, you'll be able to see them. You'll see that they look like blocks stacked on top of each other. It looks like one in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out, one in, one out. Check it out, guys. All those blocks there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Coming up on the right side, we have another one of our ticketing locations. Now, I know you're on the boat right now, but I do recommend coming back and riding with us another time. As every boat captain has a different perspective of the river. I recommend coming during holidays. You have millions of lights that hang from the trees, lighting up the river walk, making it nice and pretty. Now, this is that dove boat I was telling you about, this lime green right there. The little birdies on there. Now, I want everybody to look at this bridge. This bridge right here that we're about to pass under, that's just a regular bridge. And straight ahead, I heard my name. Straight ahead, we have La Villita. Also means little village. Established in 1722 by Spanish soldiers who were stationed to defend the Alamo. And in 1800, it was resided by French and German communities. And then later in 1836, it is where General Santa Anna had his cannon line during the Battle of the Alamo. There's a lot of artsy shops in there, as well as some restaurants. I do recommend checking it out. And we are going to be entering the Arneson River Theater here, named after Edwin Arneson. It was built in 1941. It holds about 800 guests. It's where we host various events throughout the calendar year, as well as where we broadcast our river parades. Now, the stage on the left, if you look, the stage on the right, you'll see bronze bells in the back. Those 5 bronze bells that commemorate the 5 missions we have in San Antonio. It's also where Miss Congeniality, starring Sandra Bullock, filmed the scene there in 2000. Now, that bridge we just passed under is known as Rosita's Bridge, named after Rosita Hernandez, a famous Tejano singer. She started Fiesta Noche del Rio for over 25 years. Back on that stage right over there. Now, on the right side, we have the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Opened its doors in 2013. Named after the late Texas Governor Dalton Briscoe, his wife Jane. Before that, it was the Circus Museum, and before that, it was the San Antonio Public Library. We have many people in the American West in there. Most notably Pancho Villa's last known saddle, as well as General Santa Anna ceremonial tour. They even have an interactive diorama of the Battle of the Alamo. Now, we're going to be passing the Crescent Street Bridge here, guys. Don't worry, it's one of the lowest bridges, though. Just remember, please, keep all our hands inside. I know it's tempting, you want to touch the top. I want everybody to keep their hands inside. I want everybody to hurt their phalanges. Don't worry, you have to be about 6'7" to actually hit it. Sitting down. No one that should be worried is me, I'm about 6'8". Just kidding, I got all y'all. I'm only 6'2". Now, on the right side, I want everybody to direct their attention on the right side, right over there. You're going to see an iron table. That iron table is known as Father Massanet's table. Built in 1991 by a local artist, Ronaldo Briceño, to commemorate the first Catholic Mass that we had here on the walk on June 13, 1691. It's also known as Marriage Island. It said if you were to get married there, it's to bring good luck and good fortune to your marriage. It hosts about 300 ceremonies a year. Now we're passing through what's called Old Mills Crossing. It's also known as the Woo Tunnel. It has a big echo, so can everybody go, woo! Alright. Not that big of an echo, but it's pretty cool. It's known as Old Mills Crossing. It's where ranchers and settlers would actually pass through here, water their horses and their buggies. Most notably, Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders passed through here a number of years. I want everybody to look to the right. You're going to see the Westin Hotel. The Westin Hotel opened its doors in 1999. Now, the San Antonio Spurs host home games. Their opponents stay there. They take up the top 2 floors. Not let you up there. I've tried several times. Straight ahead. Straight ahead of that building. That red building is known as the Bexar County Courthouse. It opened its doors in 1896. The oldest operating courthouse that we have here on the Riverwalk, or in Texas, I should say. I'm sorry. It's made entirely of Texas granite and red sandstone. Now, I want everybody to direct their attention to the left. You see this tall building? Look at the very top. You see some gargoyles up there. See those gargoyles? Everybody familiar with the movie Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
That movie with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. Remember that scene, the marshmallow guy at the end of the movie? That's not that building. That's known as the Tower Life Building. It opened its doors in 1929. Originally, this is Hinton Young Building. Now, if you look at the first floor, under those windows, you'll see some ugly-looking faces. Those are known as grotesques. Now, the Smith brothers were very superstitious, so they put those ugly faces as well as those gargoyles at the top to wear off bad business and evil spirits. However, that did not work. Because can anybody tell me what happened in 1929?
The Great Depression.
Yes, sir. The stock market crashed, kicking off the Great Depression, and the Smith brothers had to actually sell their building. It cost about $3 million for them to construct. They only sold it for just about $300,000.
Wow.
And once we pass the St. Mary Street Bridge here, I want everybody to look behind me to my left. Kind of where I'm pointing. As soon as we pass the bridge, just look right above my left shoulder. That Tower Life building is going to look like the Titanic is coming straight at us. If you squint hard enough, you may be able to see Jack and Rose at the top. Also, possibly be a cool photo op. Check that out. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now on the right side, we have the East International Center, also known as the San Antonio, from 1968 to 1998, it was the San Antonio Public Library. It now holds the trading office for the United States, Canada, and Mexico. If you look closer, the basement is flooded, but that is okay. It's where we hold some of our 40-foot boats. We have 2 different marinas. That is one of them. The other one's on the left side of it. I'm gonna honk my horn here, guys. We're gonna be making a right turn. Entering the floodgate channel of the Riverwalk. Now we're passing through floodgate number 4. Floodgate number 4 comes up like the bed of the truck. Now if you look all the way to the left, it'll be behind us shortly. You'll see floodgate number 5. Floodgate number 5 drops about 15 feet. Now we are entering the deepest part of the Riverwalk. It's about 15 feet deep here. But don't worry if you fall in the river today. You see that rope right there on the left side? That little rope right there? Swim over to it, grab onto it, hold on to it tight. Next boat captain will pull over and pick you up. Now, the reason we have this channel here is because back in 1921 there was a catastrophic flood that caused millions of dollars in property damage as well as 50 people losing their lives. The city wanted to create a plan to stop things like that from happening, so they found a gentleman by the name of Robert H. Huggins, who designed this flood channel for them. However, he gave them the plans in 1929. That same year, the stock market crashed, kicking off the Great Depression. Mr. Huckman had to put his plans on hold for almost a decade. So about 1941, this channel was completed. We'll talk more about that later. If you notice that fence back there with the locks behind you, those are known as love locks. The tradition is you and your significant other right side, we have the Detroit Plaza Hotel. Opened its doors in 2007. They gifted us this sidewalk that connects to the horseshoe, as well as this footbridge right above us that connects to Main Plaza. So if you look to the trees, into Main Plaza right there, you may be able to see San Fernando Cathedral. San Fernando Cathedral was founded in 1731 by 16 families from the Canary Islands. They put that cathedral there to commemorate the center life of the city of San Antonio. Are we having a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, if you look at this tree right here, that tall cypress tree, stands about 90 feet tall and is over 200 years old. Only trees can talk, right? We call that the Ben Island tree because legend has it, back in 1835, a Mexican sniper was at the very top of that tree. And poor Ben Island was on the opposite side of that tree. And that Mexican sniper had a good angle on poor Ben Island. He shot him one time to the head, fatally killed him. So they named the tree after him. Now we're passing through floodgate number 5. No, 3. Floodgate number 3 comes straight down like a guillotine. Test every 5 minutes. Just kidding. Even if we did test every 5 minutes, it takes about 15 minutes for it to come all the way down. Now we are re-entering 3 to 5 feet each part of the river. So again, if you fall in, you have 5 guys in. You can also just stand up. Now on the left side here, this is the Trophy Suites Hotel. Originally the San Antonio CPS building, San Antonio would come and pay their electric and gas bills there. Now if you look at the first floor, you'll see the chandeliers there. Those chandeliers are a good representation of how severe that flood was back in 1921. Now on the right side, right across from the Esquire Tavern, the oldest bar here on the river, opened its doors in 1933, right after Prohibition. It was a speakeasy back in the day. It was a barber shop. You would walk in looking for a buzz cut, and you would leave with a different kind of buzz. Once we pass St. Mary's Street here, we'll go ahead and look to the right. We'll have another one of our ticket locations. It's the Aztec ticket location. That's because it sits right underneath the Aztec Theater. The Aztec Theater opened its doors in 1926. It cost about $1.75 million to build. It was a very popular theater for decades. However, they had to shut their doors down in the 1970s, 1980s. But because it was a historic building, it saved from demolition. And they later reopened their doors in 2009. Now we serve it as a multi-event center. Everybody say hi to my boss on the right side right there. Everybody say hi to my boss. Just kidding, not everybody. Oh, I know. Now, do we have any Selena fans here on the boat? 1, 2, a couple. You may recognize this bridge right here. That's what we call the Selena Bridge. Because in the 1997 film, Selena, starring Jennifer Lopez, there was a scene that was shot on this very bridge where Selena and her husband Chris were sharing a moment together. And if you're a super fan, you may remember a boat drove under them. Y'all know who's driving that boat?
You.
It was not me. I was only 2 years old when that movie came out. Now on the right side here, we have the Okara Hotel. Originally the L. Franklin Salary Company back in 1901. They saddled up famous people such as Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders, as well as Antonio. They also saddled up the United States, British and French forces during World War I. Now right across it on the left side here, we have La Montiel Hotel. Originally, St. Mary's School for Boys opened its doors in 1853. Now it later grew into an academy, and then later a university. They got so big that we had to move the university to the other side of the city, where it still is there today. However, in 1966, 2 alumni came back, bought that building, and now it's the hotel you see today. Now once we pass the Navarro Street Bridge here, want everybody to look to the left, straight up to the left. Once we pass the bridge, right above Bubba Gums, let's look straight above Bubba Gums. You're going to see the tallest two-dimensional building that we have here on the Riverwalk. Built in 2002 by an internationally known sculptor by the name of Sebastian. It weighs about 65 tons and is about 45 feet tall. saw the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center as well as Shops River Center. Now, if you look straight ahead, look above those trees there, you're going to see a pink building. Right above, you may have to wait till we pass these trees. You'll see a pink building there with needles coming out. That's known as the Marriott Hotel. Built in 1988, that is not the first hotel that was there though. The Fairmont Hotel was there from 1906 to about 1985 when the city wanted to build a more modern hotel. So what they did is, because they love their old buildings, they lifted the Fairmont Hotel off of the ground and they put it on $36. These with 8 tires on it. And they pulled the building a couple blocks down to its new home. It took about 6 days to complete the move because it was moving at 0.4 miles an hour.